As I was resting under a fig tree in my hometown of Bethsaida along the Sea of Galilee, this Jesus, whom I'd only heard about, came up to me and said, "Follow me." Peter and Andrew, also from my village, and friends I had known for years, were with him, already following. Could this be, I thought, could this be Jesus, the Messiah, the Son of God? He was calling me, Philip, to follow him? Jesus looked at me and simply said, "Follow me." And I knew. I somehow knew this was the one whom we had been looking for, waiting for, the King of Israel. I went quickly and found Nathanael. Jesus called him to follow as well. And Nathanael did, though he was more reserved about doing so than I was, at least at first. We had been following this Jesus now for a short period of time. We were learning our mission, all 12 of us. And here we were, in a boat with this man crossing the Sea of Galilee. It seemed so strange, yet so exciting, and so unpredictable, unknowing. I mean, he just said to each of us in his own way, "Follow me," and we did. On this day, however, we were coming to the shore with Jesus, who had said we were going away to a deserted place to rest for a while. Since we had been preaching, casting out demons, anointing many who were sick, we were exhausted. But as we came close to the shore, we could see there would be no rest, at least for a while. The crowds had run around the lake, and many came from nearby villages to see Jesus. But Jesus was not about to turn them away. We could see it in his eyes. He had compassion for them all. He said that they were like a sheep without a shepherd. As he walked up from the shore, the crowd surrounded him. He then began to teach them about many things. This went on for some time until it was getting late. We were tired and wanted to rest. So finally, we decided we would help Jesus get away from the people. We told him we could go into the countryside and rest, and he could just send the people away to buy something to eat since they were hungry. This is when Jesus began teaching us. Jesus turned to me, and asked me, "Philip, where should we buy bread for these people to eat?" There were thousands of people, about 5,000 men, I learned later, along with at least that many women and children there also. This would be impossible at this late hour. But I learned that Jesus was testing me, testing all of us followers. He knew what he was about to do. I responded, "It would take more than a half year's wage to buy enough bread so each person could have only a bite." Just the thought of this was ridiculous to me. Well, we looked around to see if anyone had any food we could divide. All we could find was this boy who had 5 small loaves of barley bread and 2 little fish. Well, what good would that small amount do? But Jesus, with confident reassurance, commanded us, "Tell the people to sit down on the grass." So they did. Multitudes of people, as far as we could see on the hillside, down the sea, waiting to be fed. Then Jesus took the loaves, looked up to heaven, and gave thanks, and gave them to us to distribute. He did the same with the fish. What happened next, I cannot explain. The fish, we handed it out, and it just kept multiplying. It never ran out. As much as anyone wanted to eat, until all were satisfied, and we had more to spare. Then Jesus said to us, "Gather up what is left so that none is wasted." We did, filling 12 baskets. 12 baskets. What did this mean? What was happening here? Strangely enough, sometime later, Jesus took us to the other side of the Sea of Galilee and miraculously fed another crowd of over 4,000 people. That was in Gentile territory, and there were 7 baskets left over. Something bigger was happening here than we could see at the time. I remember after he fed the 5,000 in Galilee, Jesus withdrew from the people immediately. He wanted to be alone, to get away from the crowds, up the mountain. Jesus knew the people were going to attempt to force him to be their king. Who wouldn't want a king with this kind of power? We wanted this too, didn't we? But Jesus would not be that kind of king. I was beginning to see the manna was falling again in the wilderness, but the wilderness would be wider than I could ever imagine. God's mercy was moving across the world. How far would it go?